Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I am here with Alessandra Braun today. We're going to be talking all about Pinterest and how to use it in your marketing efforts. If we haven't had a chance to meet yet, my name is Allie Bjork. I specialize in sales funnels and Facebook ads, and I think now is a great time to start thinking about diversifying your marketing efforts and just make sure that you're not getting all of your leads from one area, because I just feel like some changes are coming and we don't know what those are yet, but things, targeting, ads, some of that stuff might be changing a little bit. So it's always a good idea to have multiple ways to get new leads into your business. And from what I understand, Pinterest is a really great way to do that. So if you want to tell us a little bit about you and your background, I would love to hear your story and how you got started in business.
Sure. Well, I actually started out as I still kind of do as well, but as a psychotherapist. So I had an in-person practice. I have my master's in social work. I had a full private practice. I lived in Los Angeles with my husband, and we decided to make a big change in our lives. And we moved from LA to a small island in Washington. Wow. Where when we got here, I had thought about opening a practice here, but it's really a small community. I know I want to do some work in the community, but I decided I wanted to go online just because, of that. And it was really hard to say goodbye to all my clients in Los Angeles. And I didn't want to do that. And I know that my, family aspirations are to travel and see the world with our family. And I want to not have to say goodbye to my clients when I do that. So I moved online and I worked primarily as a life coach over the last year, doing a lot of making a lot of courses. I just found that I really liked doing that, like the teaching aspect of things and kind of the guiding aspect versus the one-on-one client work. And then I've moved more towards now teaching Pinterest, because I'll tell you why. And then also working with moms. I now have 2 under 2. And I run my entire business at home without any help. So you may see someone pop in. The other one can't pop in.
I hope so.
But so now I am doing some life coaching stuff. I'm going to create a membership program around journaling, as well as, doing some coaching for moms in my new Naptime CEO program. So I'm really excited about that. But the reason why I'm here talking to you is because of Pinterest. And so when I first decided to go online, I had no idea where to even start. Like, I didn't know anything about the online world. Now I'm kicking myself. I'm like, I should have been here for like 10 years, because I've been in this space. I've been in like the helping space for a long time. But, so I started watching webinars, what most people do when they start, you want to learn about things. And so I think one of the first ones I saw was about Pinterest, and I loved Pinterest in my personal life. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start there. I'm like going to pinpoint one thing. I'm going to start there. I see a lot of potential there. And so that's where I kind of put my efforts in at the very beginning. And I have not really had to venture past that for the past year. Because also I get a little lazy because I get leads every single day. Right. I could probably really, like you were saying at the very beginning, you need to diversify right now. I have been moving into Facebook groups and stuff like that, but so I found such great success with Pinterest right away that over the past year, I've never gone a day without a subscriber on my email list. Even if I don't do anything on Pinterest, I sometimes will. You may ask questions about the general how as we get going, but even if I don't do anything in a month or 2 months on Pinterest, I'm still seeing leads coming in, because the nature of Pinterest is that it's evergreen. So like ads, that you set up, you can, you can run them every day for the next 3 months.
For that, where I'm guessing your traffic from Pinterest is all organic and all for free.
Yes, exactly. So yes. So absolutely, it's 100% free. You can do promoted pins. I've never done a promoted pin. I've never even looked at it. And so, so I've gone, this last year and a half, have exclusively used Pinterest to grow my list as a coach. So, selling services, selling courses, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Wow. So, so you're still doing coaching and now you're teaching Pinterest and
Yep.
you're doing it all in your house with your little ones.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. And one just came up asking for
Yeah.
cheese, but I've given her 2 cheeses, so I just handed her an apple.
Yeah. Got to diversify, right?
Right,
Snack
yeah, there you go.
targeting everything. So I work mostly with different types of life coaches, whether that's health coaching or, just different types of life improvement style coaching. So Pinterest in my personal life has been like, I want to decorate my house like this. I want this recipe. I want, I think this color palette's pretty. I've never used it to like seek out services. So I'd love to learn more about like your experience with how you've drawn people in, like what kind of content you're using, just I'd love to hear how you got started using it and what your strategy was behind that.
Sure. So one of the most common misconceptions is Pinterest is just for DIYing, bloggers, recipes, workouts, whatever. That's not the case.
Okay.
But I totally get it because that's really like, I go through all the myths of Pinterest in one of my master classes, and that's like my number 2. Pinterest, my number 1 is Pinterest is not a social, right? Pinterest is not a social network. It is a search engine. So you're treating it like Google. And so that's the underlying piece of your strategy. And so when it comes to content, it's creating content that your ideal clients would search for. So for example, my content that I only had a couple blog posts. So that's another thing. Like, you don't need to have tons and tons of content to get visible on Pinterest. I think I had 4 or 5 blog posts.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, and I, grew my list from 0 to 1,000 within 30 days. So the type of content I had was, unique to me in terms of I call myself the Thrive Coach. So I had some articles about thriving, how to know you're thriving, how to know you're surviving, how to go from surviving to thriving. That was one of my checklists was. She now has a sticker, and that came off the apple that I gave her. So creating content that is in alignment with who you are as a coach. It's just another platform. So think about what you do your lives about. You can repurpose lives into content that you put on Pinterest. So yeah, and then obviously, the whole funnel piece of it, you have your content, then you have an opt-in, then you lead them into your funnel, right? Pinterest is just a traffic engine. And so using your content, whatever content it is, you don't have to create new content if you have content already. That's why I love repurposing Facebook Lives as content on Pinterest, like just like writing up a short little blog post. You don't have to be a blogger, like you can just, you're already creating content. I feel like this is what I talk to a lot about to the coaches I talk to, is like, you already have content. Like, you don't need to be blogging. You don't need to be writing these like humongous posts. But it's key that your content is in alignment with your opt-in, right? You don't want to like have this one piece of content and then random opt-in. Like, Pinterest traffic is cold traffic. Like, it's the same kind of thing a lot with ads too. It's cold traffic. You've got to do what you can to convert them. They're coming and reading a piece of content, make it really good. Like, your content's got to be representative of you and what you can do as a coach and who you are. And then leading them through your, I call it the Pinterest funnel. So like, the pin is the first line of the Pinterest funnel, or the first step. And then, your content is the next step, and then your opt-in, and then your nurture sequence, and then selling your products. Right. So your content is whatever you're putting out there. So, I mean, like I have a masterclass, that I just launched yesterday. It's called Explode Your List with Pinterest. And I actually, on the masterclass, I show just like examples of some pins that you'll just see if you do a search. Just go into Google, like think about like funnel. Like, if someone wanted to try to find you, What would they search in the search bar? You know, like funnels, like funnel strategy, funnel marketing, whatever it is that people search. I don't know.
Yeah.
And see what kind of pins come up. There's going to be a ton. I promise you, there's going to be a ton. And you already have all that kind of content. So if you were to want to move that to Pinterest, it'd be super easy. Like you wouldn't have to come up with like all this new stuff because you already have it, which I think is really exciting.
It's like, oh, I need to create like this whole separate funnel that's just content for Pinterest and just special images and, you know, like speaks to that audience, but it's reassuring to think that you can just repurpose like what you're already doing. But I'm all about working smarter, not harder. And like, if I can do one piece of content that can give me 6 different pieces of marketing, like, give me that.
The only thing that's unique is, you know, the pin. So you've got to create a pin that is, that speaks to your ideal clients, that showcases, you know, like, I mean, your pin wants to be representative of you and your brand. So that's just the next piece that you would have to add to that content, which you can do. And you can, if you already start having templates, you can do it in 5 minutes. Like, so it's not even that big of a deal.
Research wise, do you recommend like looking at what people are searching for? Like, do you have that ability on Pinterest to see if, like, how your audience is looking for you? Or I used to do SEO for websites, and I know there's a lot of keyword research that went into that. Is it the same process where you would do the research and see like what people are searching for off of Pinterest and then make it work? Hi.
Say hi. Yes. So you can, so the cool thing about Pinterest is you can type it into the bar. So same like the thing like Google, like when you start typing, you can see what people search.
Okay.
So same thing with Pinterest. So like I do this tutorial, I do like a screenshot or like a screen share tutorial in my course of showing you exactly how to do this, but I can just tell you from my mouth, from my mouth. So if you type into the bar, you know, funnels, right? That's all you need to write. So you write funnels and you press, you know, enter. There'll be all these little keywords underneath it. So maybe it's funnel strategy, maybe it's funnel marketing, maybe it's, so you can start getting more specific and see exactly what people are searching for in Pinterest. So you can even keep going. You can do funnel marketing, and then it's like funnel marketing on Facebook, funnel marketing on Instagram, whatever, you know, like you can do exactly what you're talking about, like researching what people are actually searching for. She wants you to see her apple. That's what she's
So do you do it with hashtags, or do you like build it into your like the content description that you're typing up, or is it?
Yes. So Pinterest is all about, it has its own SEO built in. So you need to be using keywords in your pins, in your descriptions. They newly started using hashtags. So you would use a couple hashtags, not like 30 like Instagram, but just a couple. I usually use 2 to 3. And then kind of long tail keywords. So just like I was talking about, you know, funnel marketing for Instagram, funnel marketing for whatever. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there off the top of my head. But like, you know, things like things that I've done, like, you know, tips for managing anxiety, or, you know, coping skills for depression, those kind of things like that life coaches might be typing in, or affirmations for depression, affirmations for anxiety. One of my biggest posts is about affirmations. I get tons and tons and tons of traffic. I get a lot of traffic from all of them that have been there for a while, but I would say that's probably my biggest, just because people love that. And so my freebie has to do with that, and then I lead them, you know, through to other services, and I know that it's
well aligned with the rest. I think that piece is really important. Like, don't just give them a blog post that's not related to anything else that you're offering.
Exactly. I mean, because ultimately you want to convert. You want your traffic to convert. So I see a lot of people say, "Oh, I get a lot of traffic from Pinterest, but can you not block my head with that?" Beer. It's like the witch from
it looks so big.
What's it called? Snow White.
Like right in front of the camera, and it looks just gigantic.
Right. So what was I just saying? Converting. um, I see a lot of people say, oh, I get a lot of traffic from Pinterest, but my email list isn't growing. Well, it's like, okay, well then there's a disconnect there. You know, you want them to land on your page. I talk about, specifically in my course, I talk about optimizing your page for cold traffic. So letting them get to know you, letting them get to know your stuff, making sure they know they can opt in somewhere. You know, just really optimizing it for the cold traffic and it being in alignment with you and your opt-in and all that kind of stuff. What?
Yeah.
You can go watch Horsey. I'll put it on over there.
Have you noticed any correlation between like people that sign up for your list and become clients down the road? Like, is it really high quality leads that you're getting? Because I know some people with ad targeting, you have to be careful about the type of, you know, ad that you're setting up, because some people are known for just collecting freebies and some, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Is it quality traffic that you're noticing from Pinterest versus other sources?
So there's a little bit of both, right? So I do a lot of weeding. So during my funnel, I have a lot of people that'll buy, you know, just, you know, my lower priced courses. And then, you know, funneling the people that are more interested into the higher price stuff. So it's not like I grow my list from, you know, say I got 10 subscribers today, not all 10 of those are going to be high ticket clients. That's just not what's happening. But maybe one is someday. I don't have my exact conversion rates because I haven't calculated that. But it is a wide range, but they are there. You just have to speak to them, right? The people that are looking, the people that are there for a reason, and the people that are just looking for a freebie, they're gonna get there. You're gonna start pitching your products, and they're gonna leave. Okay, that's fine. But there are the people in there that you can be talking to, and you can be nurturing, and just like, you know, I know that you probably do through your funnels. It's the same kind of thing. So you do have to do your weeding, because there's going to be, you know, the type of people that come. You can't like target, you know, the certain income or things like that you can do with ads. But this is also free traffic. So you just need to be doing a little bit of extra work in your sequence afterwards.
Okay. So as far as like what's getting their attention, have you noticed certain types of images working well for leading people to a blog post and then into an opt-in?
That's a great question. One of my strategies is multiple pins per piece of content. Okay. And so I feel like the reason why I do that is because certain people are attracted to different ways of wording, you know, like people that, like, for the example, my affirmations post, my two that I made, this was before I started doing like 5 and 6 for each one, so I could probably even up it. But I had affirmations for every day of the week or month, and then affirmations to improve your mindset. So some people like the idea of just every day, you know, something they can do every day, versus other people are more in tune with the mindset piece, right? So making, you know, my strategy is to diversify that. So to have images that are in line with what you're saying. So like my mindset one was like a person on a really high rock, and they were like, woo, you know? And then, you know what I mean? Like, it's just finding images that are on brand with you, that are just like, you know, something totally random. And then I also, after I started at the very beginning, I started doing different posts as well with like smaller words or just like normal text, like trying to see which ones are liked the most. And I see traffic from all of them, to be honest. You know, I feel like it might as well do that with when you have the masses in front of you. So if you're wanting to use mindset in one of your, you want to like, but maybe there are some people that don't know that word yet, and or they're not in tune with that yet, but they like this daily thing that you're talking about, but then you get to educate them on the power of a positive mindset. You know what I mean? Like, so being able to kind of, blanket it with these different images, these different, the different copy kind of things like that.
Okay. So funneling them down, like giving them a lot of options and then one blog post to click through to, and then one option and then three.
Exactly. So all those pins go to the same piece of content.
Okay.
Content has, the same stuff in it. Exactly.
Yeah. I can see why it would work really well. So as far as like your own personal experiences, what do you have, like percentages of how much your list grew when you started using Pinterest?
Well, the thing is, I have only used Pinterest.
Oh yeah.
so like I said, when I first started, I maybe had like 40 people on my list because I had just started and they were like friends and family and just like random people. I don't even know if I had that. I maybe had like 12. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And then when I started Pinterest, I saw, I actually have an image as well on this. I think it's in my group too, but also on this masterclass, the exposure list. I went from, 0 to 1,000. So I got 1,000 subscribers in my first 30 days.
Wow.
While I was, doing my Pinterest strategy. So I have to caveat it and I say it's in my first 45 days because I had like 13, 20 subscribers in my first 15 days. But once I started utilizing Pinterest, actually doing the strategy behind it, and that's what I think people get caught up with is they go on Pinterest and they pin something, and that's it. Like they're like, okay, I pinned it on Pinterest. Like, okay, but like, what strategy did you use? There is a strategy. It's not complicated. It's not hard. It's not like there's like maybe a little learning curve, but it's not. It just is intimidating because to some people it's a whole new platform, right?
Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah, exactly. And it can be really intimidating.
Or something, or maybe that's Instagram. I don't know. Just like the different sharing, and it just seems like a totally different beast that I wasn't ready to jump into. But the way you're describing it makes it sound super simple and easy to get started with.
It is really simple. It's just knowing the strategy and the pieces that are important in the strategy. So once you're starting to pin strategically versus just kind of throwing it out into the Pinterest universe, then you'll see more traffic. Pinterest has group boards. Group boards are where you see a lot of the action. I always talk about Pinterest is not about your followers. I only have, 2,800 followers, and there are people that have like tens of hundreds of thousands of followers, right? But I still get a great amount of traffic every day and a great amount of subscribers every day for my business. I mean, yes, if I wanted to scale and I want 100 subscribers every day, I need to be doing something different. But right now I don't need that, and because it's working for me. But by utilizing group boards are where you can kind of utilize the followers of the masses. And it's just knowing that there are these different pieces that go into the strategy. And that once you know the strategy, it's just super simple. And honestly, it's a set it and forget it model, especially if you use something like Tailwind, or I haven't used Board Booster yet. I'd like to experiment with it just to see. But once you can spend an hour or two a month, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. That's and like, even I often do 3 months in advance. And then I often forget about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't done anything for months. And I don't notice because I go into my ConvertKit and I see subscribers coming every day. So I don't notice like, oh, I must not be pinning right now because I don't have any subscribers. Not for me.
Wow. What a good strategy though. So tell us a little bit, we have a link that we're going to be sharing along with your presentation. So tell us what we're going to find when we click to that link.
Sure. So I just released a masterclass called Explode Your List with Pinterest. So in this masterclass, I am going to walk you through the exact steps that it takes to grow your list with Pinterest. So I go through a couple of the myths, like it's not a social media outlet, and it's not just for bloggers. Those are the myths I'm giving away. But then I walk you through the steps that it takes to utilize Pinterest for your business. I think there's 8, and then the extra one was like use Tailwind. So there's
Yeah.
9. But
Yeah.
I walk you through and show you exactly what it takes to use Pinterest for your business in this masterclass. It's about an hour. And then you also get, I mean, I'm turning it into an evergreen thing. So you get an option at the end. If you stay all the way to the end, you get a special gift if you want to take it a little bit further and grab my pin traction course.
Okay. That sounds wonderful. So make sure if you're watching this on the replay, make sure that you grab the link and check out her masterclass. I'm going to, because I know I need it. Sounds like just like a really good way to repurpose what I'm already doing instead of thinking that it's like a whole different thing that I need to find time for. Sounds wonderful.
And you don't need that much time though. I mean, I feel like there's a little bit of at first, just because there's that little, like I said, that little bit of learning curve. But when you get things set up, and I feel like especially you already have the mindset of like, okay, what keywords and things that I need to be using, you already probably have that all in your brain. So it's probably just knowing what to do with it. And then setting it up and you're good to go. It's just that little piece, that little step to the knowledge.
For free. That sounds amazing.
Yes, for free. That's what I want. It's like, this is free traffic, free people in front of you. Like I had a $5,000 launch. I mean, that's great for me. All from traffic from Pinterest, like just 100% free. I did not use any ads. I didn't pay anything. Nothing.
Yeah. It's not like spending $10K in ads and then having a $5,000 launch and then you're still the ad money.
Exactly.
I mean, that's obviously not my goal for people, but when it's all free, like you're not going to have that little undermining voice. Like, am I going to break even? Like you already know that it's all profit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's huge. Well, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
To everybody, and hopefully they will click through and start using Pinterest.
All right. So great.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to